Let's go!
We've been running an experiment, a little bit of an experiment over the past almost 3 weeks now. I have been multi-streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, and luckily have built a pretty wonderful audience. There's over 1,000 brand new dudes / members on YouTube, which is great. We have like 30 plus emotes on the channel. There's not a lot of other perks and things that gives, but I've effectively been able to keep a pretty healthy amount of folks that are watching on the YouTube side and on Twitch. But I kind of wanted to talk about my experience with this, why it's so challenging for some and not others, why I think it has been so challenging for me of figuring out what is the right call of what to do here, because this has been effectively an experiment. And I do want to keep on doing it, don't get me wrong. I do want to continue forward, at least into, you know, the near future. But at the same point, it has had an effect. There has been some weird things that have effectively happened between my Twitch viewership and on YouTube. Let's talk about the number one thing that happened, which was a viewership split. And that's kind of expected, you know? It was kind of expected that I was going to get some people that just abandon Twitch and go to YouTube, because YouTube as a viewing experience, substantially better. Let's just be real. Everything on YouTube in terms of the player, how the VOD works, like all that kind of stuff, just is so much better. You being able to immediately go back, you know, and then back forward, and the quality of the video itself, like everything on YouTube in terms of the player and how it works, man, it is way better than what Twitch kind of is with their archaic ass system that feels like it's still stuck in the mid 2010s. YouTube also effectively has skip ads. Yeah, that's one thing too. I'm being reminded from the YouTube front. If ads show up on YouTube, you can skip the ad, which in ways is beneficial for the viewing experience. Maybe not as much because of on the Twitch side, obviously, ads just pay out better. But talking about viewership, the good news is that the overall amount of people that were watching, I think, my streams in totality is actually more. It is much better. I actually believe I saw about a 10 to 15% increase between both platforms. That's good news. In fact, it's extremely good news. It's a bit weird on me because, you know, it's not all siphoned into one place, where my overall average viewership is a bit higher and my maximum viewership for some things was about a bit higher too, which is cool. That's wonderful. And that doesn't really affect you guys in any specific way, as much as it's a mental thing for me that it's like, oh, I can't be looking at one number, I have to be looking at two, because that technically represents a bit more of, you know, what's actually happening and how many people are watching. Long story short, I think monetarily it's also been a bit better, because the VODs themselves last on YouTube and they effectively monetize like normal YouTube videos. A normal YouTube video, for the sake of somebody like me and a very blessed individual like myself who has the viewership I do and the channel sizes that I do, I have noticed that, like, oh, my overall profitability on this stuff is up too. That's great. That's wonderful, because VODs effectively monetize better on YouTube. Now, here's the negative parts. The community aspect of the YouTube end of it is paltry, dude. Like, what YouTube offers in terms of how it is treated as a live stream service, pretty much almost non-existent. Discoverability, almost non-existent. If you want to get into somebody like watching on YouTube, finding where that person is, if you have no idea of their existence, and eventually getting into it is literally almost impossible. Like, I had to scour the main page where I'm like, I'm curious who's playing this game right now, right? I want to watch somebody playing this specific fighting game, and it exists. You can actually find that on YouTube, but the ways that you have to find it and what you need to do is ridiculous. It is like, whoa, oh my God, this is terrible. The entire website is treated like it's a VOD platform and a video platform and not a live streaming platform. It is very weird. It only can go, to me, in my opinion, it only can get better. So not exactly a big problem for me, you know, because I have a lot of very supportive people on both ends. Our first stream of this had like 10,000 viewers, and I haven't had like a big stream yet, but roughly whenever something big happened, like Monster Hunter, even Mario Party, yeah, we're getting like 5,000 to 6,000 people watching on YouTube. The MVCI thing, you know, we had quite a bit of people watching between both platforms. That's great. There comes to be some personal preferences for me. And I think there's a handling on my end, if I'm going to continue doing this, that I have to solve, man, that I have to like figure this out. And it is very confusing on the end of YouTube. Clearly on Twitch, you're live and that's it, right? You are there and you are live. Bam, bingo, bango, good to go. The biggest issue of finishing a YouTube stream is the fact that when you're done streaming, that shit gets posted to the homepage / the subscription page like it is a brand new video, like it's a normal YouTube video, which is very bizarre to me. So there ended up being a little bit of confusion between many people, where I will have a conversational piece, or for example, me and FeedyX are tackling coaching. I'm like doing coaching for the first time in Tekken, or taking coaching. For people that aren't in the know and that have a large audience size of mine, what I've effectively seen is that on the curated / edited content, it has seen a pretty significant drop, to the point where if I want to create content out of these things that were from a live stream, a lot of people are questioning, did I not already see this before? And I think that is a problem with the way I treat YouTube in general. I cannot treat YouTube the same way that I have treated my live streams, which is like an event. Like, hey, if you want to get in here, get in on this shit live. I effectively do all the thumbnail, clickbait, buzzworks, ballworks, whatever. Try to get people in here to talk about something if it's a conversational topic, or to watch me playing something. And I realize I don't want to do that on YouTube anymore. It's not a good idea, because people will show up, they'll effectively come into a stream situation, see a thing, and then come back and then realize, well, I already watched that thing, that's over now, you know? And it's not everybody, while there's still a lot of content to be had there. It creates a bit of confusion on this platform. I don't know exactly the solution right now, and people have said, yeah, you just gotta unlist your videos after an ended stream and then put them in a playlist. I'm like, that's a good idea. I don't want to cram these VODs on the main channel anymore. I don't want to like stick these VODs all over the place. People don't realize this, bro. A lot of people were like, dude, Max is cramming right now. He started streaming on YouTube and he's streaming so much. And I'm like, no, dude, I've been streaming 5 to 6 days a week for like 11 years. People aren't like even prepared for that to be the case, to the point where I have like this many VODs all over the place and stuff like that. I confirm you watched the Mario Party stream on YouTube, so you skipped the edited video because you already watched it. Exactly. I mean, I completely understand like what's happening in that situation. There's also a bit of like bloat. So it's like, bro, unlisted videos. This is so much better. Let's do an unlisted video and we should be fine. The problem with an unlisted video, and this is how weird YouTube is as a system, and they are not designed as a live platform. They're just not, dude. This is the reason why things are not discoverable. If I take my all my VODs and I put them all unlisted and I put them in a playlist, the playlist vanishes. It's unsearchable. The only way you can get to it is if you have the direct link, or I direct you to a really specific spot on my channel that has the link to the playlist itself. So I did this for a couple of streams, and effectively some of my VODs, they were getting nothing. The weirdest thing is that, I'm gonna give you an example. I would absolutely love it if this website lets you choose what to do with a VOD. There's this wonderful tab right here. And also your stream gets prioritized if you're streaming, it gets to the top of the page. I love this shit. It gets put over here, it gets put on the main page. Most of you guys discovered this stuff as a result of that. That's sick, right? But at the same time, there's this little live window right here, which is where all your VODs go. Also wonderful. All of these things are good ideas, but once the VOD is essentially done, that all goes away and this gets treated kind of like it's a normal video. However, it does not get organized like that on this page. It gets put under the live tab, which I completely agree with. That's great. But on the back end in the studio, these VODs are given completely different treatment. I can't just organize them in ways that would make sense, or tell YouTube, hey, can you not push this to sub feeds outside of the live portion? Could we maybe make that an option? That'd be great if subscribers could choose if they want their homepage have VODs from streams as an option, but it doesn't. So it's one or the other. You're either gonna get blasted, and I have decided I have to create much different imagery of what a stream is. I get it. These live stream things might have been sort of confusing, because at the same point they're like, oh, you know, this was also Max's MVCI Beyond stream. I get it. The live stream things are here. I have to be very careful about which way I have to treat some of this shit, because have I seen a drop in overall viewership? Yes. Absolutely. That definitely leaves me in a point where, well, now I got to think about this shit, man. And I'm not done yet. The thing is, I'm not giving up on this. I don't want to have to just immediately make a choice and just give up. I am still going to go about this the same way that I've sort of treated my channel, because effectively I have an entire team of people that I quote unquote need to support on one end of this platform that are responsible for curated YouTube video content. The bigger issue is that if a lot of that content is not hitting in the ways that it should, that's only going to lead in a continual downward trend that will not be good. That just isn't supportive in a way that makes sense. To me personally, I'm still figuring this out. What I'm trying to say is I'm figuring this out, and what I need to do is make the content on YouTube that is curated and edited even better with whatever ways I can, whether or not it is doing higher quality recorded footage like 4K and stuff like that. I would normally be like, bro, I'm done. You know, this is too confusing. It's too much extra work. Multi-streaming, this is not nearly as easy as you think it is if you give a shit about your community, right? If you don't give a shit about your community, and I watch a lot of people and they're just like, hey, I have actively seen Twitch streamers that multi-stream tell their YouTube audience to get over to Twitch. Why is that? Because subscribers and monetization on Twitch is 10 times better. So much significantly better that it's kind of insane. If you want to support somebody outside of like direct donation, which is much easier on YouTube, dude, on Twitch, it's so much better. At one point, I don't want to do that. I don't want to just treat the YouTube side of my audience, which is effectively where I was born, as this one thing. Hey, you just go jump over here and do this shit. It's like, well, I don't want that to be the case. I want this to also be supportive. The problem is that the YouTube platform, when it comes to live, just does not have these options. It doesn't give us the option to not push these VODs to sub feeds, or to give people an option. Hey, the way we're treating VOD videos to viewers is the same as a normal video, but on the back end, it's not. And that's like rough, dude. That doesn't make any sense. Long story short, what I want to do is we're going to play FF7, and we're gonna do the usual thing. I do want to create 4K VODs, which I have the ability to do, and we've been doing 4K edited, curated content that has been going up on the channel for quite a while now. So I want to do that. I want to make sure that those go up in some way. For a lot of you people that are saying, make a VOD channel or make a completely separate channel, that has always felt like I'm splitting this stuff up a bit too much, you know, amongst like way too many pieces and points. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. There's a lot to this that is not the same for everybody. And I feel like if you really care about how this shit works and you care about your audience and if they're all getting good experiences, making sure all the different elements on the back end between people making this content and all this kind of stuff, it's like, dude, I'm still in a testing phase and I want to do whatever I can to hopefully have this stuff supported on both ends. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out.